Some nights change your life forever. This was ours. It was a night that started like any other, but little did we know it would be etched into our memories forever. The air was thick with anticipation and a hint of danger, as if the forest itself was whispering secrets we were not meant to hear. It began with a reckless idea, fueled by youthful bravado and cheap beer. We were a group of 5, bound by friendship and a thirst for adventure. The night was young, and so were we, eager to escape the mundane and embrace the unknown. We were invincible, or so we thought. Our laughter echoed through the night, a symphony of carefree spirits. We felt untouchable, shielded by our camaraderie and the thrill of the night. 5 friends, a beat-up jeep, and a night hike into the heart of Blackridge Forest. The jeep's engine roared to life, and we set off, our hearts pounding with excitement and a touch of fear. The forest loomed ahead, dark and mysterious, beckoning us to uncover its secrets. What could possibly go wrong? We joked and teased, masking our apprehension with bravado. The path ahead was shrouded in darkness, each step taking us deeper into the unknown. The air grew colder as we drove, the headlights cutting through the dense fog that clung to the forest like a shroud. The deeper we went, the more the forest seemed to close in around us, its ancient trees standing like silent sentinels. Laughter and loud music filled the car, a feeble attempt to mask the growing unease that settled in my stomach. We sang along to our favourite songs, trying to keep the mood light, but the tension was palpable. We were venturing into the unknown, a place whispered about in hushed tones and campfire stories. The forest was alive with the sounds of the night, each rustle and snap of a twig sending shivers down our spines. We pressed on, driven by curiosity and the promise of an unforgettable adventure. The old logging road was barely passable, choked with weeds and shadowed by the looming trees. It had been years since anyone had ventured this far, and nature had reclaimed its territory with a vengeance. The path was a mere memory, a ghost of what it once was, now hidden beneath a blanket of green and brown. Their branches, gnarled and twisted, clawed at the sky like skeletal fingers. Each tree seemed to have a story, a history etched into its bark, whispering secrets to those who dared to listen. The forest was alive, not just with the rustling of leaves, but with an ancient energy that seemed to pulse beneath the surface. We parked where the road ended abruptly, swallowed by the encroaching forest. The car seemed out of place, a relic of civilization on the edge of the wild. The forest loomed ahead, a dark, impenetrable wall that beckoned us to enter, to explore its depths. Our laughter died down, replaced by the unsettling silence of the woods. The air was thick with anticipation, each of us feeling the weight of the forest's gaze. We stood there, a group of friends now bound by a shared sense of unease. The air grew thick with the smell of damp earth and decaying leaves. Every step we took was accompanied by the soft crunch of leaves underfoot, a reminder of the life and death cycle that played out in this ancient place. The forest floor was a tapestry of decay and renewal, a living testament to nature's relentless march forward. A shiver ran down my spine, and I pulled my jacket tighter around me. The cold seemed to seep into my bones, a chill that was more than just the temperature. It was as if the forest itself was reaching out, wrapping its tendrils around us, drawing us deeper into its embrace. The woods felt alive, watching us, waiting. Every rustle of leaves, every snap of a twig seemed amplified in the silence. It was as if the forest was holding its breath, waiting for us to make the next move. We were intruders in its domain, and it was deciding our fate. We should have turned back then, but something, a morbid curiosity or perhaps a cruel twist of fate, urged us forward. Each step we took felt like a step away from safety, a step deeper into the unknown. The forest seemed to close in around us, its grip tightening with every passing moment. We were drawn in, compelled to uncover the secrets that lay hidden in the shadows. We hiked deeper into the forest, our flashlights feeble beacons against the encroaching darkness. The trees loomed tall and menacing, their branches like skeletal fingers reaching out to snatch us. Every step we took seemed to echo in the stillness, amplifying our sense of isolation. The silence was broken only by the crunch of leaves beneath our feet and the distant hoot of an owl. The forest seemed alive, watching us, waiting. Each hoot sent a shiver down my spine, as if the owl was warning us of something lurking in the shadows. Or was it an owl? The sound seemed closer now, filled with an unnatural urgency. It was as if the forest itself was trying to communicate with us, to tell us something we couldn't quite understand. The air grew colder, and the hairs on the back of my neck stood up. A sudden gust of wind swept through the trees, carrying with it a whisper, a voice too low and guttural to be human. It was a sound that seemed to come from the very heart of the forest, ancient and full of secrets. The whisper grew louder, more insistent, as if urging us to turn back. It spoke of danger, of things best left undisturbed. The voice was filled with a sense of foreboding, a warning that we were trespassing on sacred ground. My mind raced with thoughts of old legends and ghost stories, tales of spirits that guarded the forest. My heart hammered in my chest. The others had heard it too, their faces pale in the flickering light of the flashlights. We were being watched. The feeling of being observed was overwhelming, as if unseen eyes were tracking our every move. We huddled closer together, our breaths coming in short, fearful gasps. The forest had come alive, and it was not pleased with our presence. Panic began to set in, a cold dread that seeped into our bones. The whispers grew louder, swirling around us, taunting us. Then we saw them, pairs of eyes glowing an eerie yellow, peering at us from the darkness beyond the reach of our lights. They were everywhere, watching our every move. We ran then, blindly, crashing through the undergrowth, our fear propelling us forward. The whispers turned to screams, the ground seeming to vibrate beneath our feet. Something was hunting us, something ancient and evil. We had stumbled into its domain, and now it was playing with its food. The trees became blurred streaks of darkness as we ran, our lungs burning, our legs screaming for respite. Branches whipped at our faces, tearing at our clothes, but we didn't dare slow down. The sounds of pursuit were close, the heavy thud of footsteps, the snapping of twigs. One of our group, Emily, tripped, falling with a cry of pain. We stopped, our terror momentarily forgotten in the face of her distress. But there was no time to help her, no time to even catch our breath. The creature, whatever it was upon us. We scrambled into a clearing, a dilapidated cabin standing in its center like a beacon of hope in the oppressive darkness. We didn't hesitate, throwing open the creaking door and stumbling inside. The door slammed shut behind us, plunging us into darkness once more. We huddled together, our breaths ragged, listening for any sound from outside. Silence. Had we lost it, or was it waiting patiently for us to emerge? We were trapped, alone in the darkness, with our fear and the chilling certainty that this night was far from over. Hours passed, or perhaps it was only minutes. Time seemed to lose all meaning in the suffocating darkness of the cabin. Just when hope began to dwindle, replaced by a soul-crushing despair, we saw it, a glimmer of light, faint but unmistakable, coming from beneath a trap-door in the corner. Could this be our salvation? Or was it leading us deeper into the nightmare? We were out of options. With a shared look of grim determination, we pried open the trap-door, the light beckoning us forward like moths to a flame. The unknown awaited us, but at that moment it was the only hope we had left.